I also want to take this time to address and bring our community up to date on our bullying prevention policy that has drawn much discussion over the last couple months. I always want to make sure that we are communicating the facts and that our media has those facts. So a couple things that have been misunderstood through social media sharing inaccurate information, and so I'd like to take just a few minutes before we begin our more traditional back to school session by just sharing some information that I hope will help our parents and our students understand what they can really expect when they return to school. First of all, I want to share that there is not a transgender curriculum for our students. There's not a plan to have a transgender curriculum, nor will there be one, despite reports in the media to the contrary. So again, our training this summer was with our principals to help our principals be better positioned to welcome and support our transgender students just as they support every other student in our district. It is my belief that if we are truly about every child, every day, for a better tomorrow, then every child simply means every child. And so it was with that in mind that we felt a need to provide our principals with support on how to welcome and support our transgender students along with any other student. And it was intentionally placed in our bullying prevention policy, which our students helped our board develop back in 2008, and made a compelling case to our board that we needed to have a bullying prevention policy. We were the first district in the state of North Carolina to have a bullying prevention policy, and after the CMS put that policy in place, I'm proud to say that the state of North Carolina and the State Board of Education required every district in the state to join CMS in having that bullying prevention policy. I also want to clarify that in terms of sports and athletic participation, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, like every other district in the state, will follow the North Carolina High School Athletic Association guidance and rules, which says at this time that students will participate in athletics based on their biological gender. And for CMS, that means that we will be following that guidance for both our middle school students as well as our high school students. In addition, there has been some speculation that perhaps we are no longer going to address students as boys and girls and males and females, and that simply is not true. What we asked our principals to do is look at their practices within their buildings, primarily around classroom management and protocols. So here would be an example. Is there a need to say to your students as you're heading to the cafeteria for lunch, boys and girls, let's line up, boys in this line, girls in this line? There's no pedagogical reason for doing that, and we can all come up in this room with a number of ways that we could line our students up to go to the cafeteria without making it gender-based. But that does not mean that teachers will not continue, as we as adults in this room experience, to have the class addressed as boys and girls. So again, just to make sure our community is clear what is and is not true, we wanted to clarify that. And we'll continue to protect the privacy rights and needs of all of our students. Based on the August 3rd, 2016 U.S. Supreme Court order, school districts are no longer required to allow transgender students to use locker rooms, dressing rooms, and restrooms corresponding to their gender identities. This will be the case in CMS, pending any further decisions from the Supreme Court. What it does mean is that we will continue to work with each transgender student and his or her parents to make sure there is a plan that protects the privacy of that student and makes that student feel welcomed and supported as he or she attends school for the next 180 days. So you might say, what is going to be different? And what I would say to parents in this community is very little will be different in terms of your child's experience unless you are the parent of a transgender student. And if that is the case, our goal and our hope for the 2016-17 school year is that your child feels welcomed and supported, and that you as a parent feel welcomed and supported in developing a plan that allows your child to have safe and joyful passage through the 2016-17 school year. So those are just some updates that I wanted to provide our media partners so that our parents are clear what is and is not a part of our bullying prevention policy. At the end of the day, it is very simple. It is about every child. If we say every child every day for a better tomorrow, we better mean it. And if we mean it, that means every single student.